Hey, awesome people. Mr. C here with you. We've got a fractions video for you today. Make sure if you learn anything new at all, click that like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. This video, we are going to be subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators using standard strategies. This will be our practice problems video. If you're looking for the teaching video, it is in the description below. Check that out. If you're looking for our subtracting mixed numbers with models video, it is also in our 4th grade's fractions playlist. You'll also find our 3rd grade fractions playlist and our 2nd grade fractions playlist. All are linked in the description below. Check those out. Very excited for this video today. We are going to be subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators using standard strategies. Practice problems video. Let's get started. First one on the screen for us, and before we get started, make sure you have a growth mindset. We are using our mistakes to help us get better. We're asking good questions. We're paying attention. We are trying it on our own, all right? Here we go, 4 3/5 minus 2 1/5, and I'm going to divide my screen into 2 different sections here, simply because I'm doing 2 different strategies really, and I want to make sure we can differentiate between the 2. So here we go, we've got 4 3/5 minus 2 1/5. So let's do this. We've got 4 3/5 minus 2 1/5. I always like to rewrite it, helps me keep track of stuff. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to break this apart and see what it actually looks like. So we technically have 4 3/5, and we are subtracting 2 plus 1/5. Okay, that's what we're technically doing here. So now, what we always do, let's put the whole numbers together and let's put the fractions together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 minus our other whole number. What's our other whole number? Our other whole number is 2. Okay, so we're going to do 4 minus 2. Then once we've done that, we're going to add. What are we going to add? Well, we're going to add our fractions after we subtract them. So we've got 3/5, and we are going to subtract 3/5 by 1/5. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. This is what we're technically going to do. We're going to subtract our whole numbers, so let's do that first. 4 minus 2 is 2. Now, we're going to rewrite all of this because I don't like to do more than one thing at a time, and you'll find out that whenever we talk about orders of operation later on, we don't like to do 100 things all at one time. That's why you're seeing me kind of rewrite this step by step, because we don't like to do more than one thing at a time. That way we don't lose where we're at, okay? So now let's subtract these fractions. We've got 2 plus whatever this fraction is going to be. 3 minus 1 is 2. Denominators, we do not subtract them. They stay the same. So our answer is going to be 2 2/5. Take a look at that. See what we were doing. Notice that what we did is we put the whole numbers together, the 4 and the 2. We put the fractions together, 3/5 and 1/5, and we subtracted. We subtracted the whole numbers, we subtracted the fractions, and that's how we got our final answer of 2 2/5. Okay, now let me show you the other strategy that you could use. Other strategy you could use is you take your whole numbers and your fractions, and you're going to write them over the top of each other just like you would with a normal subtraction problem. So I put the whole numbers together, I put the fractions together. Now I'm going to subtract. Let's subtract the fractions first. 3/5 minus 1/5. Well, 3 minus 1 is 2. Denominators stay the same. Now subtract the whole numbers. 4 minus 2 is 2, and you're getting an answer of 2 2/5. Notice both strategies, same exact answer. Again, I want to point this out. Students, do not just choose this strategy because it was way quicker. Okay? Do not do that. Teachers, parents, let them solve it this way. Then, once they know how to do this, challenge them to solve it like this strategy on the left. Because, students, you're going to need to know how to do this strategy here. This is something that's going to be in your math career all the way through until you graduate high school. Okay, make sure you know how to solve problems this way here. Okay, take a look, see where did you make a mistake, where are you confused, what didn't make sense, and try the second one. Second problem here on the screen, we've got 7 1/2 minus 2 1/2. All right, I don't have a ton of room here on this one, so I'll kind of have to write it kind of small, so apologize for that. But let's do this one. So we've got 2 1/2. I've got it written down here. So here we go. Let's take a look. Denominators are the same for both of the mixed numbers, so that's good news. No extra steps. So let's do this. Let's rewrite it to where the whole numbers are together. So we've got 7 minus, whoops, I wanted to write that with black. Give me a second. 7 minus 2. So 7 minus 2 plus, then we're going to have our fractions here. Our fractions are 1/2, and we're going to subtract 1/2 from the other fraction, which is also 1/2. Okay, so take a look. I took the whole numbers, I took the fractions, and we've put them together. That way we can subtract this more efficiently. 7 minus 2 is 5, so we've got 5 plus whatever we have here as our fraction. Again, notice I am not trying to do more than one thing at a time. I didn't try to do both subtractions at the same time. Okay, I'm doing one at a time. That way I don't forget what I'm doing or where I'm at. Okay, so now we've got 5 plus 1/2 minus 1/2. Okay, well, what is 1/2 minus 1/2? Well, let's think. 1 minus 1 is 0. Let's draw a better 0 there. Sorry about that. 2 over 2, or excuse me, 2 minus 2. We don't subtract the denominators. They stay the same. So we have 0 over 2. So we have 5 plus 0 over 2. What is that, ladies and gentlemen? What does that mean? What's 0 over 2? If you've got 0 over 2, you've got nothing. So our answer is just 5. Okay, our answer is 5. There we go. Take a look. Took the whole numbers, took the fractions, subtracted. Okay, used our associative, used our distributive properties, used the things that we already know that we've done since like kindergarten, and we just applied it to fractions and mixed numbers. Okay. Now let's show you the other strategy. We've got 7 1/2 minus 2 1/2. Subtract the fractions. 1 over 1. 1 minus 1 is 0 over 2. Man, why didn't I change it to black? Sorry about that. 1 minus 1 is 0. That's over 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. And again, our answer is 5. Either strategy that you choose to use will give you the same answer. Another way that you can think about this, if you get it correct using one strategy, you should get the same exact answer for the other strategy. Okay, it's just a good way to check your work. All right? Questions? Where are you stuck? Where are you lost? What doesn't make sense? Find that mistake. If you can find your mistake, then you're ready. Okay, if you can find that mistake, it's going to help you figure out where you messed up, what you need to do differently next time. Okay, I got one last one I want to try with you. Here we go, last one on the screen. We've got 8 2/3 minus 8 2/3 minus 5 1/3. There we go. Couldn't speak there for a second. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's take 8 2/3. 8 2/3. And let's subtract 5 1/3. Again, I'm going to break this up and make sure that we can see what we have. So we've got 5 plus 1/3, and we're subtracting 8 plus 2/3. So now let's rearrange this. Let's put the whole numbers together. So that means we're going to have 8, and we're going to subtract 5. So we're doing 8 minus 5. And then we're going to add the fractions after we subtract the fractions. And the subtractions are, the fractions are 2/3 minus 1/3. There we go. Now let's do it. Subtract the whole numbers. 8 minus 5, that gives us 3 plus. Now let's write down our fractions because we're not trying to do more than one step at a time. So 2/3 minus 1/3. Now let's subtract these fractions, and we're going to have 3 plus 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 3, we don't subtract the denominators. Denominator stays the same, and we're getting an answer of 3 1/3. Okay, let's see. We should get the same exact answer in our other strategy. Let's see if we get the same answer here. Line the fractions up, line the whole numbers up, subtract the fractions. 2 minus 1 is 1. Denominator stays the same. 8 minus 5 is 3. And either strategy you use, ladies and gentlemen, you will get the same exact answer. Okay? So, if you have any questions, anything you're still confused on, my contact information is at the end of this video. Feel free to reach out. Teachers, parents, feel free to reach out. If you have some questions as well, let me know how I can better assist you. Again, our goal here at Math with Mr. C is to make math understandable and challenging. If you learned anything new, make sure you click that like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. That's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. C, out.